Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Govinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopi Kante Radha Kante Namostute तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, looks like we had trouble joining in today, is it? Did you have like issues in joining on the Zoom?
No, it was. I didn't find any issues.
No?
No, not on my side.
All right.
No, was fine. No issues.
No issue. Okay. All right. So we'll get started. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we read Shlok 38 in Srimad Bhagvatam. And, you know, as we can see, it described like the lower planetary systems, yeah, are situated in his legs, right? The lower planetary systems is Bhurloka hai. So Bhurloka is like Prithvi and below, yeah. And then it has Bhuvarloko. So that is in the middle planetary systems, beginning from Bhuvarloka, situated in his navel. And then there's a higher planetary system, Swarloka. Yeah. So where you have the demigods and highly sages and saints, and going up to the Satyalok, the Brahmalok. So, you know, you see also Gayatri Mantra where you have the Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, right? So it's actually referring to all three planetary situations, but total 14 planets, but you can also look at as three middle, lower and higher planetary systems. So we'll start with the next shloka. Okay, ग्रीवायां जनलोकोश्य तपोलोकः स्तन्द्वयात् मुदर्भिः सत्यलोकस्तु ब्रह्मलोकः सनातनः. So
from the front of the chest up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord are situated the planetary systems named Janoloka and Tapoloka. Whereas the Satyaloka, the topmost planetary system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Sohan. So now it's describing the, we are looking at the Virat Swarup, right? So that's what Lord Brahmaji is explaining to Devrishi Narad, that in the Virat Swarup, this is how the Lord Vishnu controls, and that's how the imagination is of the universal form, right? So the upper lok are called the Jan lok and Tap lok. So the topmost is Satyalok, right? So those are the three topmost loks. So you have Satyalok, Tapalok, and Chanalok. And below that, you know, you have Swalok and Bhulok and everything else, right? So Anilji?
Yeah. Tatkatyam chatalam klarta bhu murabhyam vitalam vibho janubhyam sutalam shuddham janghābhyam tu talatalam mahatalam tu golfabhyam prapadabhyam rasatalam Padalam Padatlat iti Lokamaya Pumana. My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atal, is situated on the waist. The second, Vital, is situated on the thighs. The third, Sutal, on the knees. The fourth, Talatal, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatal, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh, Patal, on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So as you can see, on the names are given of all the loks, and we have seen this before too, right? Below Bhu, you have the lower planetary systems. Out of 14, there are 7 below. So out of 7, you have Atal, yeah. Then there is a Vital. Then you have Sutal. Then you have Talatal, Mahatal, then Rasatal, and then you have Patal. Okay, so those are the 7 lower systems. Let's read the purport. Actually, it's a lot of knowledge in this one, Shiva.
Modern enterprisers, the astronauts who travel in space, may take in information from Srimad Bhagvatam that in space there are 14 divisions of planetary systems. The situation is calculated from the earthly planetary system, which is called Bhurlok. Above Bhurlok is Bhuvarlok, and the topmost planetary system is called Satyalok. And these are the upper 7 lokas, or planetary systems. And similarly, there are 7 lower planetary systems known as Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal loks. All these planetary systems are scattered over the complete universe, which occupies an area of 2 billion times 2 billion square miles. The modern astronauts can travel only a few thousand miles away from the Earth, and therefore their attempt to travel in the sky is something like child's play on the shore of an expansive ocean. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So you see, like, what is given here. So even the geographical area of the whole universe is provided here, yeah, which is 2 billion times 2 billion square miles. That's the area of the whole universe, yeah. And then of course, we of course saw all the names of the 7 lokas which are in the lower planetary system, right? Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rastal, and Patal. And then on the topmost is Satyalok, right? And we saw the Bhulok, and then we read the other names, right? Janlok and Taplok. Yeah, and there's also a Mahirlok. And so, that's how the demigods in the Devlok, yeah, which is called Swalok. Like when you say Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So Swaha is where the demigods are, Devtas. And then you have Mahirlok, where the Rishis and Munis are. And then you have Janlok, Taplok, and the Satyalok, where Lord Brahma resides. Yeah, so like this, there's 14 loks. We should, I'm repeating it so that, we'll remember at least some of those names. And then, of course, saying the modern astronauts can travel a few thousand miles, but the whole thing is 200 billion times 200 billion square. Yeah, let's read this further. Sohan. Sohan. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not able to hear anything.
Yeah, can you hear now? Can you hear now?
Yes, now I'm okay.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
I was disconnected and then got connected again. So that's why.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, Soham. Can you restart, please, from here? Soham? Shyam, do you want to start?
Okay. I think it's again gone.
Soham, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Now we can hear you, but can't see the shared screen.
Oh, the screen is not shared. Oh, okay. Hold on. Can you see now?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, let's start again. Sorry for this. I think my internet connection is getting disconnected right now. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah. Can you read?
Okay. The moon is situated in the third status of Srimad Bhagvatam. We shall be able to know the distant situation of the various planets scattered over the vast material sky. There are innumerable universes beyond the one in which we are put, and all these material universes cover only an insignificant portion of the spiritual sky, which is described over the Sanatana Brahmaloka. The Supreme Lord very kindly invites the intelligent human beings to return home, back to Godhead, in the following verse of the Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So what it's saying is the Lord is inviting everyone to come back home, which is above all these material loks, right? So Abraham Bhunal Loka Punar Aratino Arjuna Mam Upetya Tu Konteya Punar Janma Na Vidyate. So if you want to get rid of the Punar Janam, he's inviting you to the Sanatan Brahmalok. Yeah. And basically, once situation in any of the many material planets, so irrespective of all these 14 planets, doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in the Devata lok or whatever lok, you are still subjected to the laws of material nature. And what is that? Is the birth, death, old age, and disease. Everyone is subjected to that unless you go to the Sanatan lok or the Vaikuntha lok, which is eternal. Yeah. So let's continue. Sachin.
भूर्लोकः कल्पितः पद्भ्यां भूर्लोकस्य नाभितः स्वलोक कल्पितो मूर्ध्नाम् इति वा लोककल्पना. Others may divide the whole planetary system into three divisions, namely the lower planetary systems on the legs up to the earth, the middle planetary system to the navel, and upper planetary system Swarloka from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So see, that's the Virat Swarup. And the three divisions of the complete planetary system are here mentioned. 14 are imagined by others, and that is also explained. So we saw how the 14 loks, we saw how the 3 loks, and thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the second canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled The Cause of All Causes. Bolo Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
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 So nice. I think we'll continue with reading the chapter 6. Okay. And the chapter 6, Adhyaya 6 is Purush Sukta confirmed. What does that mean? That means is, so the Purush form, like the Lord Sri Krishna has a shape. There is a, it's not like Nirakar, as a lot of people say, right? And I think that's what this Adhyay is being described. So let's read the text 1. Tarun?
Brahmovacha Vacham Vahremukham Vahinarmukham Kshetram Chandasa Sapta Dhatvatva Havya Kavyamratanamam Divya Sarvarasyasa Cha. Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, right? So Lord Brahma continues to describe this Virat form, and actually we should now let's just read a little bit here. The activities in the spiritual world are without any of the difficulties of the material world. Like here we have so many difficulties, right? But those difficulties are not there in the spiritual world. But there is no question of impersonal voidness on the spiritual platform, as suggested by the impersonalists. Like there is no nothing, there is form, there is no form and all that. It's nothing like that. Okay. It says the devotional service is defined in the Narad Panchatattva as follows. Sarvopadi vinir muktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishi kena rishi kesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. So what that means is, Shivam, just read this, please.
Originally, since all the senses are produced of the Lord's reservoir of senses, the sensual activities of the material world are to be purified by the process of devotional service. And thus the perfection of life can be attained simply by purifying the present position of our material activities. And the purifying process begins from the stage of being liberated from the conception of different designations. Every living entity is engaged in some sort of service, either for the self or for the family or for the society, country, etc. But unfortunately, all such services are rendered due to material attachment. The attachments of the material affinity may be simply changed to the service of the Lord, and thus the treatment of being freed from material attachment begins automatically. The process of liberation is therefore easier through devotional service than by any other methods. For in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5, it is said that one is subjected to various kinds of tribulations if one is personally attached.
So Dikaratas Tesham Avekatasakt Chetusham is like basically if you are impersonal trying to do all that, there is a lot of difficulties, a lot of austerity which is performed. But the important thing which is mentioned here is, we are always doing some kind of service, right? Every living entity is engaged in some sort of service, either for the self or for the family, for the society or country or for something. But what it is saying is, unfortunately, all these services are rendered due to material attachment. Yeah. And what it's saying is the best thing to do is all this attachment of the material affinity may be changed to the service of the Lord. So everything we are doing, if we can do it in the service of the Lord, then we start beginning freeing from the material attachment. And that is the path of liberation through the Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. Ravi? Ravi, can you hear?
Yes. सर्वासुना च वाष्ये च तन्ना से परमायणे अश्विनो रोषधीना च ग्राणो मोद प्रमोदयो His two nostrils are the generating centers of our breathing and all of other areas. His smelling powers generating the Ashwini Kurma demigods and all kinds of medicinal herbs, and his breathings energize produce different kinds of fragrance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Lord Brahma, continues to describe this, how this world has been created, right? And then the Virat Swarup, uh, Satogun, Tamogun, Rajogun, then all these earth, fire, all these fire elements, right? And then how all these loks are in the Virat Swarup. And now he's also describing like how all these parts are creating all these different elements, right? Anilji?
रूपाणां तेजसां चक्षुर्दिवः सूर्यस्य चाक्षिणी कर्णो दिशां च तीर्थानां श्रोत्रमाकाशशब्दयोः. His eyes are the generating centers of all kinds of forms, and they glitter and illuminate. His eyeballs are like the sun and the heavenly planets. His ears hear from all sides and are receptacles for all the Vedas. And his sense of hearing is the generating center of the sky and of all kinds of sound. Hare Krishna.
Right, so his eyeballs, right, the eyes are like the sun and the heaven, and the heavenly planets. It says Suryasya Chakshini. Same thing, like his ears hear from all sides and are receptacle for all the Vedas. Karno Disham Cha Tirthana. Tirthanam is Vedas here. And Akash Sabdeo Hai. So his sense of hearing is the generating center of the sky and all kinds of sound. Sachin?
तद्गात्रं वस्तुसाराणां सौभाग्यस्य च भाजनं त्वगस्य स्पर्शवायोश्च सर्वमेधस्य चैव हि. His bodily surface is the breeding ground for the active principles of everything and for all kinds of auspicious opportunities. His skin, like the moving air, is the generating center for all kinds of sense of touch and is the place for performing all kinds of sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Anilji?
Romania Yudvijatinam Yerva Yagyastu Sambrataha Keshasma Shrunukhanyasya Shilaloha Viddutam. The hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of those trees that are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hairs on his head and face are reservoirs for the clouds, and his nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones, and iron ores. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun? Tarun?
Yeah. Bhavaho lokpalana paisham shema karma namam. The Lord's arms are the productive fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right, so it's describing all these various parts of Lord Shri Krishna. Ravi?
Vikramo bhuvurva swascha kshemasya sharanasya cha sarva kama varyasyapi hareshcharana aspadam. Thus, the forward steps of the Lord are the shelter for the upper, lower, and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I just quickly read. Shivam, Soham?
for absolute protection from all sorts of fear, as well as for all our needs of life, we must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not only in this planet, but also in the upper, lower, and heavenly planets. This absolute dependence on the lotus feet of the Lord is called pure devotional service, and it is directly hinted at within this passage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivam.
No one should have any kind of doubt in this matter, nor should one be inclined to seek the help of any other demigods, because all of them are dependent on him only. Everyone except the Lord himself is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Even the all-pervading soul is also dependent on the supreme aspect of Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
All right, so it's all about pure devotional service. Okay, so we'll pause here. We have 2 minutes. Let's hear the kirtan. Any comments? So devotional service, right? That's pretty much doing the kirtan, doing the chanting, reading Srimad Bhagvatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, yeah, and surrendering unto the Lord. So let's hear the kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.